Hello everyone, hello. Well, I'm still having fun studying this wonderful artist called Ellie Kavanaugh, and I like the way that she starts her portrait with some sort of grisaille, an underpainting, and in this one she used a Payne's Gray, and here we try to have a Payne's Gray violet undertone as a grisaille. But I also watched a lot of her images on yeah, just the internet in general, and I can see that she also have another underpainting which is a turquoise, or like a PG7, you know, like a Viridian tone, and I think it gives this ghostly sheer look that I have never tried to paint like that before. So in this painting here, I tried to pull out the greenish underpainting, and here I worked with the more purplish underpainting. But up here, it's still sort of turquoise. So I want to make another study down here where I really bring out that PG7 as an underpainting, because it's a first for me to combine a skin tone that consists of like 30% Viridian. So it's just fun for me to yeah, I'm just having fun, you know. So this is not a tutorial or a very in-depth study. This is simply just me trying to be inspired by a portrait painter who has a different color palette than I am used to work with. So that's why I want to give this a try. I got a stripe of arches glued in here in my sketchbook, and this is just a sketchbook for color study and stuff. So because it's a newly built sketchbook, I got this gap over here. I need to block it up with a block. So I just choose a colorful side here. It's a swatch of a new palette that I've made, so the camera doesn't white out this part of the recording. So yeah, blah blah blah. But let me get started with this. I'm really being anticipating this PG7 underpainting for skin tone. I mean, have you heard anything like that? It's the first for me. I also think that to truly paint in the Ellie Kavanaugh style, you must embrace blooms and hard edges, and I don't feel that I've done that in either of my other studies. So on this one here, I will be more I will embracing more the blooms, but it's just so not my painting style to create blooms on purpose. So it's also very difficult for me to shift gear and leave those blooms alone. But I think it's worth trying if I really want to, you know, be inspired and learn something new. So, but because this is like just a color study painting, I'm not gonna do it like super, you know, I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on it. And I also just took a partial cut of the face because I'm interested in painting portraits. So all the thing with the rest of the body and what they're wearing and stuff like that is not on my plate here today. But I definitely feel that the Daniel Smith PG7 is more blue turquoise leaning than the core PG7. So I'm painting with the Daniel Smith PG7 in this one here. And my palette is a mess, my Daniel Smith palette. It's mixed in with schminke and other paints, so it looks like this, and it's just, you know, really too many colors, you could say. But for some reason, when I set up that palette, I had focus on wanting same brand in the same container. So the more my Daniel Smith collection grew, the more this palette just grew, you know. But lately I have been setting up some exciting new watercolor palettes for 2025, and I introduced them over at my Patreon, where I am better at mixing my brands in one desk palette, so that I get access to granular paints in particular. I've been painting for a while, I could say that, and I've for some reason also always enjoyed keeping same brand with same brand in a palette. So this year is the first time for me to have combined all my other brands that I tend to want to grab for when I am painting, but because I'm lazy, I don't get up and get that palette that has that one pan that I think I could use right now. And so it's the first time for me to have a palette where I have simply just picked out all these colors that I feel I would gravitate to grab. But I'm talking about all of that over at my Patreon. Okay, I just want to maybe I should lock in the eyes so that it doesn't look so spooky. Unfortunately, Ellie Kavanaugh favors to paint younger faces, like kids and stuff, and that's not really what I'm used to paint. I'm used to paint like female, grown female. So that's also why I thought it was so interesting to look towards her direction when it comes to portrait, just to try something new. I still love to paint, I would call them pretty faces, I still love that, but it's always fun to just try out something new. Here I'm working with the Sleeping Beauty from Daniel Smith, and I think it works so well together with the PG7, the Viridian. So I'm hoping to get some really bright blue eyes. But it's very sheer. She does a lot of layering. That's also not how I used to paint. I used to come in a little bit stronger at my first layering process, but I kind of understand the idea of doing a lot of layers because, and I know this may sound really crazy, I feel more relaxed when I paint like that. It's slowing things down a little bit, and not it's not that I'm a person who chases the end result, like I can't wait and I can't anticipate to watch this finish, so I'm just gonna hurry through my artwork. It's not that I feel I'm that kind of painter, but I think I sometimes are too fast, so I miss the opportunity of the Ellie Kavanaugh painting style, where you simply just take your time and work really slowly. And when you're working with good watercolor paper like Arches, you can actually depend on the paper being wet for a longer time. So in this winter period where it's not so hot, I feel that it's super nice to pick Arches for some slow painting, you could call it. I think I will try and leave some white around these eyes here. But I have not watched a lot of her videos of how she's doing things, because sometimes I get discouraged if I study an artist too much. Like, I'm watching so much artwork from the same artist that makes me think that, oh, he or she is so smart. Why do I even bother trying this? You know, I will never get the same nice result thinking like that, you know. So where other people are getting super inspired, I sometimes get discouraged watching too much. So I've tried not to do it this time. I want to come in with Potter's Pink. The Potter's Pink that I have from Daniel Smith is very pinkish. I saw that there was a Potter's Pink from other companies that are not so pinkish. So one day I do want to try another Potter's Pink. I think I just bought it because it was super popular to buy it at one point. Everyone and their mother were talking about, oh, you need to have this in your palette because it's granular and you can mix it with other colors to obtain that granulation. So I thought of just got it because it was trendy and not because I had a clear vision of how am I gonna utilize my Potter's Pink. So it has been in my palette for a long time, but not really been a color that I have worked a lot with. So today is the day I'm folding out the Potter's Pink. If I have some light coming down right here, I could have like a shadow of the nose here maybe. The thing about Ellie Kavanaugh painting style is also that these portraits gets, in my opinion, a super ghostly look. A little bit scary, I think. Seriously, I think they become looking like, I don't know, like not they're not smiling. They kind of look scared, like you spooked them before you took your reference photo and then you painted that spooked facial expression. So it's also a little bit weird for me to sit and paint a face like that. Usually I'm more focused on what I like to look at, you know, what I like pretty happy people with smiling faces. So I'm very unfamiliar with a painting style where people are not smiling. I don't know about you, how you feel about that, because we do look a lot at this face while we are working on it, so why not make it something that you enjoy looking at? Like a happy smiling face. That's what I'm thinking, I guess. So it's a bit surprised. I'm a bit surprised to see that she can endure painting these faces that have the expression that they got. Okay, I got a very sheer layer down. Ellie Kavanaugh also worked with smaller brushes. I did try that. That's not me. That's not me. I like a big brush. So I am deviating from her style when it comes to the tool. But when you like detail like she does, you just kind of need that size 2 brush instead of this one here. Does it have a size on it? It's a size 10. So I am aware of the difference in tools, but she likes to work wet in wet, and I tend to find it easier to pick up a lot of water the bigger the brush barrel. So that's why I picked a size 10 for this painting here. But now I got the Viridian undertone, and it's very cool leaning. Now I think that I should work my way up to something that's close to a skin tone for the eyes. So let me just sit and put in some strokes, and this is where Ellie is embracing the blooms like crazy. To me it looks like she is just plodding down the color and not coming back to blend it out. So I really need to fight an urge of not disturbing the paint, which is a learning curve for me. But I feel that when you paint in her style, you might have an expression that feels like you have painted your painting with lesser strokes, even though when you watch her paint, she takes her time. So it's not like she is having lesser strokes, it just appears like everything was made with lesser strokes. And I kind of like that expression in a portrait, because it makes me feel that she focused on the personal features that's unique for the subject, and not, you know, like when you use few strokes to do a portrait, you're just picking up those characteristic features that your person that you're portraiting have, like, so you don't have a big walkabout with filling in what your brain is telling you, like there should be a highlight here on this cheekbone and a highlight there, you know. You're just plotting down the exact features as you see them, like a snapshot of like someone who is and especially because most of her subjects has this surprise looking expression. It feels like you just caught them on a CTV snapshot doing something naughty, you know, like stealing in a shop or something, like, and then you had this quick photo, and then you would be down at the police station and they would make a portrait also only focusing on just the key significant features that you can recall. I mean, that's the kind of painting style I feel that she reminds me of, which is so spooky, to sit and talk like that about this wonderful artist's work. But that's what brings in my mind when I see her portrait style. She's preserving large areas of the white of the paper. I really like that. Mostly because it refrains you from over painting your work. That you feel that you can just leave the white of the paper and not go in and tint that white so that it is tinted a little bit with a light ochre, or you know how you would tint your white area on the paper, so that the only white would be like a reflection in the eye or something. I'm planning on doing the reflection in the eye with just a generic Posca pen, because this is just a, you could call it like a study. I think I should try and be the issue is that she doesn't really have a lot of strong colors, and I also feel that she's working with just a triad, you know, like 3 tubes of paint, and then she's creating her whole portrait just using those 3 colors. So it's a perfect artist to, if you like to paint portraits, to study, because knowing that she got such a limited palette, it's nice to sit and work with her style, because you don't need to fling out a lot of colors, and you don't need to sit first and study out what mixes she might have used, you know. So you can just rely on the 3 tubes that you selected for your project, and then take it from there. That's how I think. So that's the mindset that I am entering this little painting session with. I'm beginning to have that wet in wet feeling in the nose area, because I played along with a lot of colors there, so I'm beginning to get that likable wet in wet feeling, where I feel that now the watercolors are sort of helping me to finish this portrait by placing itself. You know, the saying about letting the paint paint for you. I think I need some more shadow up here. Maybe I could go like really strong, like maybe that was a little bit too strong, I don't know. But yeah, definitely I think I would pick a good quality of paper for doing this drill here, because I feel I am putting in a lot of water. I want to try and mix the Viridian with the Potter's Pink just to see what I get. Okay, so I take the Viridian and the Potter's Pink. Get sort of a violet. Maybe I can utilize that in some areas. I think that would be in the spirit of Ellie, you know, only working with 3 colors. So try and mix those 3 that you have picked and see what you get. I just happened to get a nice mauve violet for facial portrait using Viridian and Potter's Pink. So it was just sheer luck. So I just want to put it out there that it's not a bad idea to the colors that you pick, that you kind of can make a purple out of your mix, because it's a nice add-on to the limited palette. Yeah, but already now you might understand what I mean about those spooky faces. I'm beginning to have a spooked face on my paper here. Like a person looking back at you. For me, it's a little bit scary. And especially because I know that this is somewhat of a younger face. So it's not a... And also I think the way to make the shading looks like bruises. You know what I mean? Yeah, bruises, that's a good description. That is a little bit weird. I feel maybe I should work more on the eyes so I can get to know the person a little bit better. I wonder if I should block in that highlight, because it is a younger face that I'm working with. So the nose bridge might not be so pronounced as I have made it. So if I like re-wet this area here and just drop in a dash of the Potter's Pink, just sort of flattening out that, maybe all the way down to here, so it just will be like this nose tip. Maybe I should come with more dark colors than up here. I'm just thinking out loud. But all of this is one painting session. I do need a break soon, because I feel that I am sort of not overworking, but you know, I'm sort of feeling that it could be nice to have a break soon. Let me get in some cool tones up here. I want to try and darken this area up here. So I get a more like sort of slimmer nose. Yeah, looking so scary. I guess you just have to embrace it. But yeah, I want to build in a break now, also to let the paper dry up so I can learn how what kind of shift these colors are giving me when they dry. I always think it's wise to do that when you work with some colors that you're not familiar with in a usual work, because we can't know it all, right? And there will be some sort of drying shift because it's watercolor, it's its nature. So I just want to see how pushed back will the Viridian be when it dries. And I got an urge to blend out. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. I got an urge to blend out that edge, that edge, that edge, this edge up here, that edge. Yeah. But I will refrain from doing so because that's not the Ellie Kavanaugh style. But while it is somewhat wet, I think I will sort of imagine how this nose bridge, if I could get like a okay, time for a break. Okay, so it has been drying up a little bit, and I'm glad that I incorporated this drying session because it was starting to like have a dome, like bubbling up a little bit. So you know, now when it's dry, it's somewhat more flat, but maybe you can already see here how it's doming a little bit. So sometimes do build in drying session if you have a built-up dome. But while it was drying, I feel brave to come in with some more shading. Like on this painting here, I played with the fact to come in with a dark shade up in the eyes, and because this is a practice piece, I want to try and do the same with this piece here. So let me just how am I gonna do it? Well, I'm working with, oh no, not the cat. Okay, Miss, du kan ikke sidde her. Nej. I'm working with the, let's look at the palette. The Viridian from Daniel Smith. I will try and mix all the colors that I'm working with together to see what kind of dark I can get. And then I'm working with the Potter's Pink from Daniel Smith. And then I'm also grabbing the Burnt Sienna from Schminke. So I think that I'm just gonna sit here and see what kind of dark can I get from mixing in these three colors, and let that be my black, you could say. I'm just gonna sit and twirl until I find something I feel is black. I hope it's gonna work, because when you look at color theory, red, blue and yellow should give black, and here I got you could say the red tone in the Potter's Pink, super warm yellow in the Burnt Sienna, and then that cool blue from the PG7. So I'm getting a dark here. So I want to try and make my and it might be a mistake to do this, might be a big mistake. What I want to do is a wash of this dark color over everything here, just because curiosity wants to know how will it pan out. And the reason for doing this is to carve out the eye socket, so that I don't need to focus on drawing in the eyebrows. So my plan here is to already now I feel that, oh, should I have done this? I think I started up too high. I don't like that I started up that high. My plan is to simply just shade this whole area in. And at the same time sort of chasing dimension, you know, getting like a 3D dimension to the face. Maybe it should stop somewhere around here, maybe. So everything gets a thin glaze of the dark I created with the 3 colors. Looking like a raccoon, right? I also want to see how it dries up. Look at me refining those edges. I don't think that coming in trying to blend those edges is totally in Ellie's style. I think she would refrain from doing so. I just can't help myself. And then this whole area down here, the same shade. Oh, that became like really weird. I definitely don't like how far down it went up here. Maybe I can push it up like that. Okay, we should let this dry and see what kind of effect it got. I actually hope to bring back some of the white in this area here, because that would really enhance that the shade is stopping. So see if I can lift back some of the brightness. And I'm not really used to work with the Potter's Pink, so I hope it's not so staining. To me it looks like it almost got a mixed in magenta undertone, so it's probably super staining. I just feel that I needed to bring back some of the paper here on the nose. But this kid looks more and more scary, I know. Should we be playing more with the shading down here? If we cut it here. Maybe I need to add a little bit of color here. You know, just to emphasize that there's gonna be like a mouth down here. Even more scary looking. But okay, I'm gonna let this dry. Maybe I can bring in with my darker mix here this cheek shade. And also over here. Yeah, I really think that I should let this dry up to see the full effect. It's new for me to try that shading wash. Oh my god, I feel I'm looking at Chucky. You know, that spooky doll. Oh my god. Yeah, it definitely got a spooky vibe. This is not my style of painting, but what I was after was a hint of the eyebrow curve instead of painting in the eyebrow, because I feel that this is the face of a young person, so I am afraid to trust my own eyebrows. I think I would make them too, I don't know, I think I would just sketch them in looking not fitting for the face age. I was pondering a little about these expressions, and I'm thinking what I feel is that Ali Kavanaugh is focusing on people when they have a relaxed face, you know, like you're taking a picture of them without them knowing. So you get this relaxed face that neither smile or have any sort of expression or something. And it's actually pretty difficult for me to paint because I have had so much focus on some sort of action in the face, like a smile or somebody like here looking in a direction or something. With this, I would characterize more as a relaxed face, because some may read her as negative and some may read her just as, you know, the relaxed face we see on people at the train station while they're waiting at the train, you know. So, but yeah, this needs to dry. Okay, I think I want to work a little bit with the eyes, and then put the Viridian in as a strong mix, not mix, but a strong tone up here. And maybe I should work on just putting it in on the edges. Come in, blend it out, and then lift off the excess. So I just come in with a wet brush and spread it first. And then just let the watercolor do its thing. And then if I feel I can lift off before it settles in and spreads too much. The same over here, just come in with the strong tone up here at the top and around the edge. And then with my brush and just let it float a little bit. I feel maybe I could come in with a little bit more over here maybe. And this is where it could be nice if I could come in with a little bit more shading of, with the burnt sienna, of this this eye up here. Sure, this could be like colored pencil, a job for colored pencils. But let's just see how it pans out, getting more and more spooky. That dark mix we made, I'm gonna pick it up and then start putting it around the eyes. And here I have to focus on, this is not an adult face that I'm making. We're not going for big curly eyelashes. We're more going for like a natural look without makeup. Maybe I could get this dark to settle in on top here. I feel like I could have a better line work up here. I'm just gonna blot in some of the dark colors here. I might actually let it bleed out up here. That was a lot of water, you know, just to stress out the lashes, giving some sort of reflection. And the same over here, coming back with I think a way for me to control that I'm not gonna make this into a mature woman is that I don't use a black, because then suddenly I'm thinking mascara and lash work instead of just keeping it sort of natural looking. So it was cool for me that I could actually get some sort of a dark by mixing in the three colors that I'm working with. So I kind of know that it won't become too dark for me when I'm done. Here I'm gonna take that black that I got together with a more majority of the burnt sienna, so I get like I would say like a Van Dyke brown. I'm painting the nostrils. Yeah, I really find it's difficult to paint noses, so this nose here still looks like a pig's nose, but I actually was practicing this nose up here one more time, and no matter what I do, I just feel that I'm looking at a pig, you know. So annoying. But yeah, we cannot feel comfortable in all the features of the face. There will always be this one feature that you love to make a rendition of and then dislike another feature, I feel. But that's just my opinion. Like so mouth is also difficult to make, so this practice piece here where I can leave out the mouth is just such a relief for me. Really is. Okay, I want to mix more of the dark color, but in like a milky consistence, so it feels like I am drawing with a colored pencil. So without using a ton of water, I will try and pick up the colors. And I just keep on picking up until I'm satisfied with the darkest dark that I can get. So, and that may like take a little while to get there. And then I want to put in even more up here, like some sort of a lash line or something, but without it being a lash line. And then I want to curve the black of the eyes a little bit more. And then come in with some sort of line work. Not like completely around the eyes, but sort of following that. Maybe I could have a little bit of dark color down here, just down there. And also here, I feel. I'm thinking about, should I make oh, it's so sheer because it's a kid, you know. So I'm just gonna come in with a little bit of shading here to emphasize that the eye is like also here. I'm just thinking about how the eyes would rest in the skull. So it would make some sort of, maybe that's a little bit too much. We'll see how it dries up. It looks really like too much. Like I went in a little bit too dark over there. But let's just let it rest and see what we get. I really think that I could have like the same dark color up here. And maybe if I'm lucky and take a wet brush, I can sort of connect these areas together. Somehow. I'm gonna take some of that brown. I need to like hint that this over here is like an eyelid somehow. Yeah, I hope you guys are finding this entertaining to look at. It's very slow. Live art is super slow, but if you like to look at it, it can be a relaxing moment for you. But do give me a thumbs up if you like to look at this. That gives me an indication of if I should return with similar videos for my channel. I'm gonna make this over here like really dark. And then I'm gonna watch it dry up, and then I can come in and lift off. That's what I'm thinking. I would rather approach it like that, because I'm not so sure about the triad that I'm working with, how pushed back it is in its drying session. Because Paris pink is not, it's not a color that I usually have worked a lot with. I think I need to do some highlights in the eyes. I had like a more burnt sienna leaning dark there, so now I can come in with my more darker dark to do the total inside of the nostril, and hopefully it will stand out as a dark space with depth, because I got like a sort of a two-toned dark inside the nostrils. That's what I'm thinking. I think I could come down with a more pronounced Viridian shaded nose tip, just to emphasize the curvature. I'm just gonna put in a cool color here, just to help emphasizing the curve. I think it helped a little bit. I'm looking at the pupils. I feel that this one, like this one is higher up than that one. Can you see that? I wonder if I can correct some sort of visual if I play a little bit with that shading up there. Maybe I could connect that shading more with this. Yeah, I think I find it a little bit tedious having to mix my own black constantly. So it could be nice if, let's say that you're doing this style for a long time. You're thinking like, and I could be so anal to do that, thinking like, I really want to study this skin tone style with the turquoise, the potter's pink, and the burnt sienna. Then I would recommend that you go in and make a pre-mixed pan of the darkest, so that you can just pick from your own pre-mixed pan instead of having to sit and mix it all the time. I'm just taking the edge of this circular pupil because they are not even, so I just want to make some sort of visual, like annoy it a little bit visually, so that it doesn't become so obviously that I got an error on the pupils. I feel that I could bluish this eye a little bit more, like a little bit more blue tone. That would be nice. I'm about to be finished, guys. I just need the highlight of in the eyes, so this needs to dry up. I think I should come in with a shade right here. I could even try and paint out that line work. Definitely a shade. It's gonna show that it's kind of bending. Okay, I'm a little bit quiet. Do I need, maybe I need a line that shows that the eyelashes are going above and beyond this that curve. Yeah, I think it made it look more natural over there. Okay, I'm gonna let this dry and then come in with the Posca highlight of the eyes, and then sort of call it a day. So it has somewhat dried up. I definitely don't like the way this read up here reads like a triangle shape. So I think to break that up, I'm just gonna plot in a little bit of Viridian just to break up that shape, so it doesn't look so I don't know, there's just something about that shape. Maybe I feel that's better. Can you see how pushed back the drawing became of this area here? Really like that. I want to bring that color up to the eye socket. So I'm taking the burnt sienna and then I'm just gonna sit and wonder where to put it. I actually think there could be like some sort of shading around here maybe. I just wanted to bring some more dimension to that area with that burnt sienna. And then I'm gonna trust that it's gonna dry up just as light as that one over there did. Maybe I can spread it out a little bit. I just like that there is some sort of arch, like the hint of some sort of a curved arch right there. Okay, I'm gonna bring in the highlights, and I'm using a paint marker from, it's just called Edding. It's the same as a Posca. And I'm gonna drop it in above that round. You know, usually we put it, oh shoot, now this is wet. And I'm just gonna heat set that quickly with my heat gun. Usually we like to put the highlight like inside the black circle, but I think I'm gonna do it like next to and above the black circle, and then an uneven amount, like one there, two there. And yeah, I guess I could call it done. Do we need like a highlight? I don't know if I can smudge this. I would really like to investigate if I can smudge it. So I'm just gonna put in a smudgeable stripe right here. Yeah, it was okay. Ooh, now that I know that I can smudge it. No, here it's getting soaked right into the paper. I'm just fiddling here. Yeah, but basically I would say that I am done with my study. I hope you enjoyed this. Yeah, I no longer see Chucky. And I don't no longer see a sad, spooky raccoon face. I think it helped a lot to bring in the eyes. So yeah, it can have like a very scary, ugly stage, this painting style here. But I just wrote here on the side what kind of colors that I used. I would like to stress out that I think it's super beautiful that you can actually paint with just those 3 colors, and it was very relaxing, you know, not so confusing, like feeling that you needed to grab a bunch of colors, just settling on this tiny palette, trying to make it work, you know. So I kind of like that aspect of the painting style of it. Yeah, what else to say? I just want to say that I don't know if I'm a fan of that cool Viridian skin tone. I think I brought it out more here than my attempt up here. I'm not so sure I'm a fan of it. I think it's very ghostly looking still. So I'm not able to zoom a bunch with my camera. I kind of got it fixed to the stick that it's hanging from. So instead I'm just gonna lift up my journal to the camera and hope that you can get a closer look. And what I will take with me from this painting session, painting a younger face, is that I love the way that I skipped making any hints about the eyebrow. Some kids got like really sheer gold lock eyebrows that you can barely tell. So I like that painting in the eye socket just gave that faux impression of this is where the eyebrow is. So I think I'll take that with me, because if I had to paint in eyebrows, I probably would go with this mature female style up there, because that's just what I've been doing most of, and I don't think that I would be fitting to this child portrait. I can see that it's a kid, so But yeah, thank you for taking the time to watch this. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it, and I wish you a nice weekend. Bye bye.